The side. Uh, Moving on to the side. That those are the wheels. They're not alloy wheels. They're steel wheels, but they also have these blue elements on the hubcap. That's where you juice it up from. We'll take a look inside in just a moment. Before that, let me just show you all the other little elements. So yes, blue is the running theme for electric, and this nice detail here with a positive and negative sign on the rear brushed aluminium accent on the boot lid. So let's just show you what it looks like on the inside. And that's the dash. Fairly conventional, of course. Yes, it's an electric, so no gears, just automatic transmission, manual AC controls, and a touchscreen. And that's on the inside. Let me show you the rear seat. That's the rear seat. Reasonable amount of leg room. And let me have a look and see if I can show you the boot. Well, no, I can't. That would need a key to open, or I would need to pop it from the front. So I'll give you another look at how the KUV 100 looks from the side. And of course, dimensions are exactly the same as the regular KUV. So it's a nice tall SUV-ish hatch that will have fairly good road presence like the regular KUV. Again, if you do have any comments, any questions on how it looks, anything you'd like to know, any more details you'd like to know about it, please add that in the comments below, and we will be getting back to you with a more detailed video on the KUV 100. And so after we spin around a bit, I'll be signing off. See you later. Bye.
Well, it's a city commuter electronic car. BMW claims a range of 300 kilometers, but real world average, people have managed to only squeeze about 150 kilometers from it. 0 to 100 comes in quick at 7 seconds and has a 184 bhp engine and about 280 Nm of torque. All very good, big numbers for a little car like this. Let's see how it looks on the inside. Now, I'm not even attempting sitting there. There is no chance in hell I can fit in there.
Close to mine, dancing in your bed until the sunrise.
So that's the BMW i3S. I wish I could tell you more about the car, but that's all I know for now. Is it coming to India? No, not anytime soon. And I'm stuck again.
Thank you for joining us here at Car Dekho, where we help you pick the right car right now. Looking to buy a new hatchback this year? There's one for every budget as the list of options grows bigger and bigger. Alright, here we go. 2019 Maruti Suzuki WagonR. The new WagonR couldn't come here a day too soon, and fortunately we now have a confirmed launch date. It will be available with both a 1-litre 3-cylinder petrol and a 1.2-litre 4-cylinder petrol engine. Expect AMT and CNG options too, though at least the latter may not be offered at launch. The new WagonR features new bits like a touchscreen infotainment system and steering-mounted audio and telephony controls, along with the usual fare like dual glove boxes and manual AC. 2019 Ford Figo. We've got the Freestyle, we've got a heavily updated Aspire, now it's time for the Ford Figo to get its refresh. Changes expected are similar to what we've seen in Ford's entry-level cars. A new 1.2-litre petrol engine with a new 5-speed manual gearbox and a new 1.5-litre petrol engine with a 6-speed automatic from the EcoSport come in as mechanical updates. As for the features, a 6.5-inch touchscreen with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, auto headlamps and wipers are some of the things you're going to see in the new Figo. Mercedes-Benz A-Class. Sporting a sharper new design, this A-Class is longer, wider and even has a bigger wheelbase than the outgoing car. Inside, the dashboard gets an absolute overhaul with a look that mimics the S-Class, complete with a dual-screen driver information and entertainment setup. This has freed up the clutter and the new A-Class looks like a big leap ahead from the model it replaces. Available with a 1.5-litre diesel and 2 petrols, a 1.4 and 2-litre unit, it remains to be seen what engine options make it to India. Tata Tiago EV. It's been well over a year since we heard about the Tata Tiago Electric, but 2019 could be the year when Tata Motors finally decides to launch the production-ready version. With a travel range of around 100 to 130 kilometers on a full charge, we're hoping the Tiago EV stays true to the Tiago's USP of offering excellent value for money in a zero-emission package. 2019 Hyundai Grand i10. There isn't a lot that's known about the new Grand i10. But based on spy shots and insider sources, you can expect a more spacious interior, a new steering wheel, turbine-styled AC vents like we've seen in the Santro, and possibly a bigger touchscreen infotainment system. We're also expecting an AMT to replace the current 4-speed automatic transmission offered in the Grand i10 Petrol. Tata 45X. Tata will kick off 2019 with the Harrier, but towards the end of 2019, we're expecting to see the Tata 45X. Inside, the new premium hatchback will offer a dashboard design that's similar to that of the Harrier, including a new touchscreen and a center console that extends all the way to the rear row. That aside, we're expecting this hatchback to be a good family car, given Tata's knack for offering generously spaced cabins. Expect the 45X to share its engine and transmission options with the Nexon. Maruti Suzuki Baleno phase. Toyota's version of the Baleno is also expected to go on sale midway through this year. While both cars will have similar features lists, Toyota's version of the Baleno will sport some cosmetic changes to give it the Toyota family look. Bonus: Nissan Leaf. The second-gen Nissan Leaf was revealed way back in 2017 and is expected to go on sale as a direct import in India in early 2019. Measuring nearly 4.5 meters in length, the Nissan Leaf is no budget car but comes with a claimed range of around 400 kilometers from a 40 kWh lithium-ion battery. The Leaf EV comes with features like a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant support through Nissan Connect, and the ProPilot autonomous drive technology that lets the car take over acceleration, braking, steering, and even parking functions. If launched in India as Nissan stated, this will fall into the same range as luxury hatchbacks with the Mercedes-Benz A-Class. Any takers? That's the list of hatchbacks you can expect to see launched in India this year. That said, there may be some surprises in store. For one, we're hoping to hear something about the new generation Alto towards the end of 2019, and we may even see the arrival of the new Volkswagen GTI. What are you looking forward to?
Brand Audi was built in India on an SUV, the Q7. It was known as the SUV of the superstars. And now Audi is looking to reinvent itself with this new SUV. What I really like about this is the size. It slots in between the Q7 and the Q5, so it isn't as big as the Q7, although it feels and looks quite impressive, but it isn't as small as the Q5. It's actually sitting on the longer wheelbase version of the Q5, which means you get more room in here. But if you look at it as an SUV quotient, the roofline could have been higher, but Audi's kept it low for a specific reason, to make it more drag efficient. So it has a lower drag coefficient of 0.27, and to that effect, they've done something else as well. Bet you've never seen wing mirrors like that, huh? That's because that is effectively a camera which is streaming a feed to a screen on the inside over here, and it can have 3 modes. It's a city mode, so it gives you a slightly narrower field of view. It's got a highway mode, which gives you a wider field of view, and there's a curb mode, which basically shows you what's right next to the car to make it easier to park. So yes, that camera can move a little bit. And as for folding this, it might look a little scary, but it's pretty simple. Manual, because this is really slim. You can't package in a motor over there, can you? It's all about maximizing efficiency. And it's cool too. Techy and geeky, that's always been core to who Audi is, right? And with this cabin, they're taking it up several notches. You look at the center, you've got two screens there stacked one on top of the other. The one below is housing all the controls for the aircon system. The one is the infotainment on top, and of course the driver gets that Audi virtual cockpit, which looks sharper, clean and really packed. But on the whole, here it isn't about technology, it is about the sense of luxury, which Audi has done so well over the years. You look at the quality inside the cabin, even the matte finish on the dashboard, the chrome piping, everything, the leather, the seats, this feels properly luxury. This really works out right, because look at the back seat as well. You've got great amount of knee room on offer here. And of course, like we said, the sense of luxury, you've got climate control here as well. 2 zones for the rear occupants as well. So yeah, if you want to just sit in the back and chill out, this should be good for that as well. Now this Audi might not have a third row, but it has something else. And what gives this SUV its superpower is in the boot here, right? Modern day luxury SUV with a spare wheel, even if it is a space saver, packed in under the boot floor. That's a phenomenal achievement if you ask me. So what else is special about this vehicle? And if you look around to the outside, of course, there's that Quattro badge because it's got all-wheel drive. And then there's the matter of ground clearance, which is about 170 something millimeters. It's got the lift mode because it's got air suspension. And then there's, of course, that e-tron badge because this SUV is actually, yeah. Yes, in that long footprint sit 36 modules of the best lithium-ion tech, which can pack in all the juice needed to drive all 4 of these massive 21-inch wheels for over 400 kilometers. How does Quattro work in the electric world? Well, basically it's got something called as an electronic drivetrain platform, which in this case means you've got 2 motors, one for the front wheels with 184 horsepower and one motor for the rear wheels which has 224 horsepower, totaling up to 408. It is unlikely that you will use the lift mode and wander into the wild stuff, but Audi say you could. You might be tempted to go drag racing, and the e-tron would smoke fuel guzzlers, but the heavy Audi would trail its electric rivals a bit. Maybe this e-tron is about being sensible. And talking of sensible, here is the e-tron's star quotient. Right, so charging. That's, well, not going to be too difficult with the e-tron because, well, with a fast charger you can get it up to 80% in about 30 minutes, which Audi will have at their showrooms and service centers. At home with 11 kilowatt hour charger, it's about 8 hours, 8.5 hours, about there or thereabouts. And the interesting thing about the e-tron is going to be that you'd think this will be expensive, and sure, it'll be over 1 crore rupees like an Audi SUV would cost you. But with 0 registration charges in some of the states, with GST reductions for EVs in India on the cards, and the only cost being insurance. Well, that will help to soften the blow because at 1.4 crore rupees for this CBU, the e-tron is again going to be an Audi SUV for the superstars, albeit for those with a conscience. We really can't wait to drive the e-tron out on Indian roads because we want to find out whether it really delivers on that silence that electric promises, the comfort that you expect from an Audi. But basis what we've seen here, the e-tron could reinvent what Audi stands for and what luxury means even in India, because it's bringing in the right balance of SUV, luxury, and of course the practicality of electric, which we hope it does deliver. But for now, we'll have to wait a bit longer because the e-tron is expected to actually be available in India towards the end of this year, if not early next year.
नमस्ते, आप जुड़े हैं कार देखो के साथ। वी आर कमिंग टू यू लाइव फ्रॉम द ऑटो एक्सपो 2020। आपके सामने है EXUV 300 कॉन्सेप्ट। अब क्या ये बनेगी आपकी अगली कार? चलिए जानते हैं कार देखो के साथ। अब सबसे पहली बात, मैं गाड़ी का आपको एक डिटेल लुक दे देता हूँ। फ्रंट से ये कुछ इस तरह दिखाई देती है। रिमेंबर, दिस इज़ अ कॉन्सेप्ट। प्रोडक्शन कार ऑब्वियसली ऐसे नहीं दिखेगी। साइड से ये कुछ इस तरह दिखाई देती है और रियर डिज़ाइन कुछ इस तरह है। अब क्योंकि ये कॉन्सेप्ट है, महिंद्रा ने इसके स्पेक्स हमें नहीं बताए हैं, लेकिन महिंद्रा ने ये ज़रूर कहा है कि इट इज़ गोइंग टू लॉन्च इन 2021, सेकेंड हाफ ऑफ 2021। और अगर मैं आपको रेफरेंस दे दूँ तो टाटा नेक्सॉन इलेक्ट्रिक में आपको मिल जाता है 245 Nm ऑफ टॉर्क, 300 किलोमीटर्स की रेंज, अराउंड 125 हॉर्स पावर। तो इसमें लगभग वो स्पेक्स आप एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं। 30 किलोवाट की बैटरी आप एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं। फास्ट चार्जिंग इन 1 hour 0 to 80 आप एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं। अब वन बाय वन मैं आपको डिज़ाइन एलिमेंट्स दिखा देता हूँ। एट द फ्रंट मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा पसंद है ये जो ग्रिल की ट्रीटमेंट है। यहाँ पर ये जो एक्स डिटेलिंग है बहुत सुंदर लग रही है। ब्लू एलिमेंट्स हेडलैम्प्स के वहाँ पर फुल LED हेडलैम्प्स दिए हैं कॉन्सेप्ट में। नीचे भी ब्लू एक्सेंट्स का इस्तेमाल। स्किड प्लेट एक डल ग्रे कलर में फिनिश्ड है। और अगर मैं साइड की तरफ जाऊं तो दैट इज़ अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग एलिमेंट। यहाँ पर मिरर्स नहीं है, दे आर कैमरास माउंटेड हियर। ऑब्वियसली प्रोडक्शन स्पेक में नहीं आने वाले, लेकिन ये जब भी मैं एक कॉन्सेप्ट पर देखता हूँ आई लव सीइंग इट। व्हील्स की बात करूँ तो ये टर्बाइन डिज़ाइन वाले अलॉय व्हील्स बहुत कॉन्सेप्ट पे हम देख चुके हैं। इस गाड़ी पर ब्रिजस्टोन टुरैंजा टायर्स लगे हुए हैं एंड 17 इंच व्हील्स जैसे हमने XUV 300 में देखा है। साइज़ बिल्कुल सेम है, तो EV में भी आप 17 इंच व्हील्स एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं। रियर की ओर जाऊँ तो मुझे टेल लैम्प डिज़ाइन बहुत ही प्यारा लग रहा है, स्पेशली विद दैट ब्लू एक्सेंट रनिंग अराउंड। यहाँ पर भी वो डायमंड शेप इंसर्ट्स, डायमंड शेप पैटर्न्स आपको देखने मिलेगा। और जो बूट लिड है उसकी डिटेलिंग थोड़ी सी अलग है। ये ब्लू स्ट्रिप दिया गया है। EXUV 300 का नंबर प्लेट लगाया हुआ है इस कॉन्सेप्ट कार पर। और अगर मैं आपको बम्पर दिखा दूं तो सॉरी, द कैमरा इज़ लूजिंग फोकस, देयर वी गो। तो कुछ ऐसे दिखाई देती है। ऑब्वियसली नो एग्जॉस्ट पाइप बिकॉज इलेक्ट्रिक। अब मैं आपको ले चलता हूँ गाड़ी के अंदर। ओके, ये दरवाज़ा लॉक है, ये भी दरवाज़ा लॉक है। चलिए यहाँ से देखते हैं, यहाँ से कोशिश करते हैं। ओके, सो
Can you just open once very quickly?
ओके, तो गाड़ी ओपन नहीं कर सकते, तो आई जस्ट शो इट टू यू फ्रॉम हियर। जो डैशबोर्ड डिज़ाइन है इट इज़ एग्जैक्टली द सेम एज द XUV 300, लेकिन वो जो टच स्क्रीन है वो अब एक फ्री स्टैंडिंग टच स्क्रीन हो गया है। वो डैशबोर्ड के अंदर इंसेट नहीं है। बाकी फीचर्स जो मैं देख सकता हूँ दैट इज़ एग्जैक्टली द सेम एज द XUV 300। ड्यूअल जोन क्लाइमेट कंट्रोल, क्रूज़ कंट्रोल और सनरूफ जैसे फीचर्स आपको देखने मिलेंगे। इस गाड़ी में अपहोल्स्ट्री भी काफ़ी यूनिक है। फैब्रिक अपहोल्स्ट्री है, ब्लैक और ब्लू मिक्स किया गया है। लुक्स इंटरेस्टिंग। स्पेस वाइज ऑब्वियसली नो चेंज एट ऑल। दिस इज़ बेस्ड ऑन द XUV 300, तो वहाँ पर कोई चेंज नहीं है। और एक इम्पॉर्टेंट बात, ये जो गाड़ी है क्योंकि ये XUV 300 के प्लेटफॉर्म पर बनी है, इट इज़ अ G NCAP, दैट इज़ अ प्लेटफॉर्म जो G NCAP ने 5 स्टार रेटिंग दी है। करेंटली द XUV 300 हैज़ स्कोर्ड द हाईएस्ट मार्क्स फॉर पैसेंजर सेफ्टी। तो वही एक्सपेक्टेशन आप